insatiable desire for money, power, material possessions, beyond what is needed or deserved. It's an unmoderated want for more, with no clear limit. This sin often leads to things like theft or gambling, as the desperate desire to take and obtain is a common trait with people who do such things. Those who are greedy tend to prioritize riches and material over all else, even their own souls. Selfishness, dishonesty, obsessiveness, or lack of remorse can all be traced back to greed. It's not like the desire for money is inherently greedy, as it's necessary for survival, but the obsession of it is what makes it greed. And, like the ones I discussed before, it can lead to other sins as well. One who is greedy may envy those who have what they lack, or their constant pursuit for more may lead to a lust-like chase for new highs. It's a self-destructive sin, and one that can create many different addictions.
And the ultimate virtue that opposes the sin of greed is charity. Giving to others with no interest in personal gain, placing value in others, as well as caring for their well-being. These things are the antithesis to greed, which only involves the value of an obsession over material possessions. Donations through literal charities are perfect examples of the virtue. Money, food, housing, a like and subscription. These are all things you can donate specifically to me. All for the low price of 69.
Orochimaru from Naruto. Truly the white snake that wanted it all. Right off the bat, his ambitions and desires extended to the very stars, yearning desperately for an unending life. Just the goal for immortality is the pinnacle of greed, and considering his reason for seeking it was so he could obtain an endless amount of jutsu, I'd say it breaks the scales on that one. He sought the visual prowess of the Uchiha clan. He coveted the godlike cells of the first Hokage. He would leap from body to body, taking and using up people's lives in the process. Manipulation, betrayal, human experimentation. It's clear there's no line Orochimaru won't cross to get what he seeks. And this destructive path of greed would ultimately lead him to his death. As if flying too close to the sun, he would end up biting off more than he could chew, seeking and preying upon a power that would eventually outgrow and overshadow him, snuffing out his greedy ambitions. Crocodile, former warlord of the sea. I've talked about this character in my One Piece Warlords video, so I'll try not to stay on this one for too long. From the ancient weapon Pluton, to the desert country Alabasta, to the head of the legendary Emperor Whitebeard, his ambitions knew no bounds. He assembled a criminal organization and manipulated the people of Alabasta into fighting each other, stealing the kingdom's reign and raising conflict from within, all to obtain the Pluton. And to top it off, the fact that he owns a casino is another aspect of greed associated with him. Bon, 7 Deadly Sins, Fox Sin of Greed. So, let's go back to the beginning. Bon had very little growing up, stealing every day just to survive. Eventually, his theft would grow from desperate survival to pure desire when he set his sights on the Fountain of Youth and met the fairy queen, Elaine. This is where the tragedy of his character begins. When the two are mortally wounded by a demon, Elaine would sacrifice herself and give Bon the immortality elixir, leaving her to her fate. The heartache left by this would only start to numb once Bon joined the 7 Deadly Sins. Meliodas, the captain of the 7 Deadly Sins, would pull Bon from the depths of his sorrows, forming a strong bond between the two. But when presented with the chance to revive Elaine in exchange for the life of his closest friend, he's forced to make an impossible decision. And unfortunately, he would give in to greed and turn on Meliodas. When all is over, guilt and despair would once again consume him. But through a miraculous sequence of events, thanks to one commandment's ability, Elaine and Bon would be reunited. Once again, Bon could begin to heal. His entire character arc is filled with mental ups and downs, and I don't think I can do it all justice in this one segment. Ironically, greed would be the thing that would take so much from Ban. As if a cycle of regret. He would make decisions and sacrifices that, in a real world, would be irreparable. However, during the final war, Ban would finally begin to change. He traveled through the depths of purgatory for thousands of years, enduring pain and suffering to save Meliodas, doing so with zero self-interest. Then later, when the love of his life, Elaine, was on the verge of death again, opposite to what happened previously, Ban would give up his immortality to save her life. Rather than taking and acting out of selfishness, he gave to others and acted purely for their sake. What a great character. Also, his magic is literally stealing things, so that's nice. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching. Bye now.